I've been conservative and pro-life for my entire life. Whether it was growing up the second of 7 kids or when I went off to college, which I didn't even think I'd get to go because we grew up pretty poor and there were some times where I didn't even know if there was going to be a roof over my head the next month or food on the table the next day. But when I did go to college, I was able to go to a good school, working my way through. I worked 3 jobs and tutored on the side. But because I had that opportunity, I knew that I also needed to give back to the community, including for causes that I believed in. I joined an organization called Mustangs for Life, which was the pro-life organization at SMU where I went. Now, I was also on Student Senate there, and that afforded me the opportunity to defend the pro-life display that was put out every single year and vandalized by those on the left every single year. I was also involved with college Republicans and Young Americans for Freedom while I was at SMU. In fact, you can find pictures of me alongside other college Republicans and leaders in Young Americans for Freedom, alongside some folks like Don Huffines and Dan Patrick. Now, we had a problem with our Student Senate because the Student Senate would only provide a certain amount of funding for political events if the other side didn't get the same amount of funding or host similar style events. What this meant was it hamstrung Republican organizations and conservative organizations on campus from being able to host big events. Because if the college Democrats didn't do it, the college Republicans weren't allowed to do it. They weren't allowed to bring great speakers. They weren't allowed to get that funding. And so, after a few years of that, and a few years of dealing with free speech issues on our campus, the idea was proposed to me by leaders in Young Americans for Freedom and college Republicans to step up and lead the College Democrats organization. After a little bit of the talk about what we could do together if we did that, I agreed to become co-president of College Democrats to help them build up the organization and bring speakers to campus so that the college Republicans could get funding and Young Americans for Freedom could get funding as well. Along the way, we brought a debate to campus that included Beto O'Rourke and Ted Cruz. And I'm proud to say that I was able to convince nearly half the College Democrats organization to vote for Ted Cruz in that election cycle. While every single member of that organization knew that I was Republican and knew that I was conservative. And that also helped with probably some of the things that you can find online today. There are several articles about this. The college Republicans and college Democrats worked together to save a 9/11 memorial that was in danger of being destroyed and moved to another part of campus. Those are some things that I'm proud of, even though I put my reputation on the line so that I could throw Democrats next to my name so that ultimately we could save a 9/11 memorial, get more funding for young Republicans organizations, and really advocate for conservative causes. If you want to learn any more about that time in my life and the things that I'm doing to this day to advocate for conservative causes, let me know. My website is down below at www.luccifortexas.com or give me a holler anytime. Happy to talk.